So if you guys have been following my recent videos, you'll know that last week a strange NPC was discovered in GTA Online outside of Record A Studios across the street, sitting right in front of this Pegasus concierge dealership that sells vehicles like Inus, Pfister, Pegassi, lots of supercars. I thought that was really cool, and essentially what this has led to is Rockstar accidentally leaving something in the files that's supposed to be featured in the next DLC, and very much likely gives us a movie DLC theme that's going to feature Michael DeSanta. So we actually got some more inside information on this from Rockstar Games insider TezFunds2, who ended up posting a couple of things on the GTA forum site. So someone ended up saying this: I wonder if the scenario NPC really has something to do with the theme of the DLC. Here's why. Number one, he could be a cut event from a previous DLC, and the reason movie set is mentioned is because he is simply an NPC from that specific group page. Or number two, the spawn location is not indicative of the theme and he is right opposite of the movie studio. What I'm saying is the only thing connecting him with the movies is his vanilla group page name, movie set. With TezFunds2 saying, I initially had the same thought, but he only spawns on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S version. If the scenario spawn point was added with the contract DLC, I would have agreed otherwise. This wasn't an intentional tease from Rockstar's end. It's a development leftover and more of a placeholder. Development on the next DLC must have overlapped with E&E pre-release. They typically ensure no assets from the next update make its way into soon-to-be-released builds, but the focus is mostly on scripts. Thus, in some cases, like this particular one, a few changes might have slipped under the radar. And this scenario was added with E&E since day one. We just found out about it recently, meaning the scenario must have been added prior to E&E release at some point back in February, and that's usually when development on the next update kicks into high gear. So this is good news for anyone that's skeptical of this being a hint towards a movie-themed DLC, because it was only added on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S versions, alongside the contract DLC. Now, we know that this is not an intentional tease from Rockstar. They have actually done stuff like this in the past, whether it be the Cayo Perico heist update or whether it be the release of the Diamond Casino and Resort. We've seen stuff like this. But Rockstar wouldn't make a teaser where some dude is halfway sitting in the ground. That's clearly a leftover, and that's what we're seeing here. And it looks like also this update has been in development for a long time. At least was in development alongside the contract DLC. So I think this means the update is going to be really good. Probably going to have lots of cutscenes. Probably going to have lots of new content, which is obviously something that's really exciting. Now again, there was a lot more follow-up to this, with someone also asking Insider TezFunds2, does PC have this too, with those empty files that they updated PC recently in preparation for E&E? And he says no. The comparison that led to this was between PC and PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. Now, if you guys are on the PC right now and getting pretty worried, don't panic. I really don't believe this means that Rockstar is not going to make the next update on the PC. I think that it's just happening weirdly on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S, because so far, that's only where expanded and enhanced exist. Remember, PC doesn't have HAL's Special Works or the HAL Special Works time trial. They don't have some of the quality of life changes that we have on the new generation consoles, because Rockstar are doing stuff exclusive on that, at least for a couple more days. And then very shortly, Sony's contract is going to expire, and then I believe Rockstar will get the PC caught up. But PC is not going to be left in the dust here, so that's something you really don't have to worry about. Now again, more follow-ups to this entire saga, with more questions being asked. But is this NPC a unique new model, or is it one that we can see in Richard's Majestic Studio? And he said in NPC since 2013, there's only one NPC model for the movie set pedestrian model set. And then saying there are two variants of this NPC model. The one appearing within pics appears to be the second. So you guys can actually roam around the movie studio like you're kind of seeing in the background footage that you're watching right now, and you will actually find models of them. And essentially what they look like is a guy that almost has like a press security badge or like that allows him access or something along those lines. They've got a t-shirt, a blue vest, jeans, and boots. They basically just kind of look like someone that might manage a movie studio or something along those lines. There's male versions and female versions. So every time you go back to this spot that we've been talking about, you might end up finding another NPC, or they might look slightly different, but they are the same model. So even though they change, doesn't mean Rockstar is doing any changes or anything like that. But yes, it's not a new model. It's not like Rockstar has added that. It's been in the game since 2013. And then really, last but not least today, Insider Tez Funds 2 kind of did some comparison of this entire thing, saying, I went back to compare scenario changes before and after the contract DLC. These are the scenario points Rockstar added with that update. There are others, of course, and we'll take a look at those in a second, but he goes on to say this is just to get an idea of what a scenario is for. The movie set NPC would be the same as well. Also, oddly enough, the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S scenario file number is 340, whereas the PC one is 341. So what appears to have happened is that Rockstar was removing the trans model sets from the game, and in the process of that scenario file was accidentally rolled back to a previous version. If this is the case, then this movie NPC would have possibly been added a week or two before the contract update released. So long story short, this thing has been in the game for a long time, and the guys that have been digging around in the files have actually just noticed it. So we could have had this hint for a long time, but it's actually kind of nice that we discovered it now, because it really is right on the cusp and right on the edge before Rockstar probably do plan on releasing some sort of information about the next DLC. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at those scenario changes right there. You guys can see where the NPCs are just moved around to different spots. I'm pretty sure that's what he's talking about right there. I don't know a ton about scenario points, but I do know that is where Rockstar specifically like places NPCs to get them ready for various events or to interact with our characters. Now, regarding why that stuff was added before the contract DLC, remember that Expanded and Enhanced was supposed to come out before the contract released. It was supposed to be in November before they ended up pushing it back into March. And then maybe Rockstar accidentally placed that movie NPC there for a future DLC and then removed it quickly before the contract DLC came out. But somehow now can still be discovered. It's really weird why all of a sudden now we can discover this. And I'm pretty sure that someone would have noticed this at some point in time. It's a really popular part of the map. It's not like they hid this guy up in Sandy Shores or anything like that. He's literally in downtown Los Santos, and millions of people play this game every day. So you'd think that someone would have ended up finding this guy earlier, but who knows? All I know is it's getting me very, very excited for the movie-themed update, and I can't wait to see what Rockstar do in terms of what we're able to buy, the cars, the characters that appear, the storyline itself. But as always, I'd love to hear from you guys in those comments down below. Are you starting to get excited about the movie-themed update? I'd love to hear from you guys in those comments down below. Or you can reach out to me on my Facebook page where you can send photos, messages, videos, and more. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and all the Rockstar Games videos that I'll be doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.